Dolos, we have always looked to the stars, taking a fascination in the hope that can be found in the heavens for humankind.
The aftermath of the moon explosion caused during their engine launch.
Decisive action from scientists and politicians across the world.
We are always focused on adaptation, progression, and preserving the future of humanity, no matter the challenge that faces us.
Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to IXION. Now if you're here after the previous episode, you'll notice a few things are a little bit different, and I'm going to give you some backstory. I tried recording the next episode, this episode technically, twice? 3 times even maybe? But the way things had gone, I was not prepared for, I won't say what the events that happen in the future because they're not that intense, but rather just my planning was not very well thought out. And the research that I had done was not very good. And the autosaves were not far enough back where it could have reprimanded this. So what I had to do is I had to start this whole system over. And that's less than ideal. And it also means that I didn't want to re-record something and have you watch the same system over and over again. So essentially what I did is I brought it pretty close proximity. I went a little bit beyond, but I kept it as close as I could to the end of the previous episode. So the only main difference is here, for those of you who might be playing, who may be stuck on certain things, mainly the biggest thing that I changed was what I was researching. So there's a lot here that you need to be aware of, including the mess hall. The mess hall is the biggest thing. So our mess hall now serves up to 1,400 crew members every 5 cycles. 70 food is used to serve 1,400 crew members. And you may be like, what the heck? So the last time we went down to advanced logistics and lyophilization units. But what I didn't see until I did this last playthrough was stellar cuisine and space chef. Stellar cuisine means one food can feed 50% more crew members per meal. So that brought me up to 105 people because that's, so my math is correct. So it originally got up to 70 people per one food, 50% more, 35 more, 105. But Space Chef feeds 100% more crew members per meal, which means we are feeding significantly more people. Significantly more. That means that our food isn't as necessary as it once was. Now we still have these big systems here, which are necessary, absolutely, but the food requirements are not nearly as bad as they were. So we actually, even at 97 food, we'll be able to feed a majority of actually all of our population. Now we're still a little bit lagging in this sector. The next meal cycle should fix that. But what has ended up happening is because of this, my food issues are pretty much gone for the time being. We are very happily across the board, which is also boosting my trust. The other biggest thing that I think I changed is that I carved some space out. I got this rolling for the mushroom farm. I got stability. We knocked out the thing here. Oh wow, those are dead bodies. I knocked out the probe over here to get more stability over here as well. And as you can see, everyone is quite happy overall. Not to mention there are just lots of other things that I went after. I went after the alternative life center. We all went after the Lunaclism stability thing, which allowed me to get more across the board. And just overall, our tech lab, we now have a research speed is increased by 80%. I got that Orn 8 at the end of the last episode, which means the research cost for upgrades is reduced by 10%. We're just rolling really, really well. And I'm starting to research stockpile medium, which gives 330 units of a single resource. So essentially what today is going to be is a restructuring system. Because, we're going to have to figure out some things to do for sure. And we also could eventually get to the Demotic Quarter, which allows us to house 91 crew members in a special new building, high quality accommodation, which I think is great. If we were to research before we do that, I think that because that Demonic Quarter takes electronics as well. We need to do group decronization so we can unlock smart homes, which increases the capacity by another 30%, which I think would be really good. So we're going to get the stockpile medium. We're going to get everything rolling, but I appreciate you guys understanding having to change things out. It just makes things a lot simpler, and it keeps you from being bored. Now, elsewhere, we have discovered most of the secondary system, but the giant storm that we were experiencing is now completely past the system, which means we can explore Kruk P42, Kruk P38, as well as get the other systems in. Now, as far as I know, there are no, oh no, we're gonna go ahead and go there, that's right. I don't think there are any other scientific anomalies that we can go after. It doesn't look like it. So what we need to do is we need to locate a viable planet, unlock the next sector, and develop all the countermeasures to go up against the Piranesi. What do we have here? We can see that we don't need, I've actually stopped mining iron because we don't need it as much, but we do have a boatload of bodies, or cryopods rather, a lot of science to gather. We have a lot of hydrogen, silicone, and carbon, which we are going to use. We are going to unlock the nuclear power plant, which will allow us to get more power based on hydrogen. So there's lots and lots of stuff that we're able to do to really push ourselves to the limit and hopefully negate the necessity of some of our old systems, which I think would be really, really good. So we are going there already. I'm trying to find another source of hydrogen that's close, because I don't think we actually have hydrogen here. We don't. So we need to find a source of hydrogen, because all the hydrogen... Where is the hydrogen? It's somewhere else, apparently. We got to figure that out real quick, because we have it available to mine. There it is. Cool. Okay, cool. We'll get working on that, though. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today as we send our probe to this spot over here. We can get things rolling. All right, well, we got our medium things, and that is a massive amount. What we are going to do, you know what? Let's go ahead and do bodies here. That sounds terrible. It's really gross. But we can, again, start restructuring based on everything we need to do. The science ship has completed its actions. I assume that's here, okay. We finished our evaluation of the cryopods, able to recover a large amount. They're ready for extraction. Recovery area is horrifying. Oh, yeah, We're going to continue to push deeper. Some of this will be familiar simply because we have repeated actions, which is fine. That's not a problem. But what we need to do now is we are going to research the group dechronization, which will allow us to increase production speed by quite a bit. And then once we're able to do that, we may even do post-dechronization, or we may go after the crew quarters and do the smart homes first, because we do have some homeless that we're having to deal with. But otherwise, we can turn this into that. And I think we can override and open this next sector. And we can possibly turn that into something really, really good as well. Yep, I get people being overworked. I really, really do. I understand 100%. And what we need to work on is once they get these bodies, we actually might... Let's see, we're way over the sectors here. We've got everyone in there as much as possible. I don't know that we could fit one off. Oh my word. That's frustrating. We could do one here. We may have to for the time being, just to satiate that issue there. Okay, we're going a little too fast, so we're going to start slowing down as well. But what we're going to work on is we are going to knock out this optimized quarter. We're going to knock out this stockpile somehow. We have to reorganize. The process of getting food all the way over here is very unoptimized. So I need to work on making sure that stays well and good. All right, making progress through the metal debris has been difficult. It's been constructed from a range of extremely strong alloys. We are going to continue drilling because that's what I did the first time. And then I don't remember if we went after Kruk P43. Oh, no, we didn't. The explosion, which was larger than expected, revealed a huge system of subterranean tunnels. Despite the rubble and instability of the area, the gear teams identified a passageway leading to an anomaly. The journey downward was without incident. The anomaly is in a large cave full of strange geological forms. Concentric circles are presented on the walls, reaching from floor to ceiling, and formed of many layers of different sediments. Crystal formations have grown everywhere. What is most astonishing, however, is the anomaly itself, a huge gray sphere about 4 meters in length floating in the center of the cave. This is that same sphere that we saw, I think, in the last system? I'm not sure. What we're going to do is we're going to study the concentric circles first, then do the sphere, work on all that, because, yeah, I'm afraid of what that might mean otherwise. We may lose another team, and while trust is high, I would rather not jeopardize it even more. What do we got here? We do have a decent amount of silicone. We got tons of carbon, so I don't think carbon's going to be an issue. We got lots of water. And hydrogen right there, so we'll send one out. And also, once we unlock this next sector, we'll be able to do lots of good things. So we might as well, 214, we're going to unlock the train station, which has numerous benefits. Buco to benefits. We're going to do that because that's a little bit better.
Administrator, you can implement a new policy.
There we go. We're going to remove that. Let's see. Sector 6 is missing a decent number of people. Sector 1, we're building that out, which is great. Right, well, food is no longer a problem. And we are starting to really work on getting the supply of people down.
A probe has completed its scan.
All right, and then we had to turn off the mushroom wall. We had to turn it off. It does look really, really cool, though. And you know what I haven't really done is taken a look at just how all the different systems. So we're going to go... Cool, but we're going to take a look here just for a little bit to see how things operate. There's our waste recycling center. We do have our optimized housing, which doesn't look that great, but when you compare it to the cell housing, you can see how people would prefer the other places. We've got some really cool stuff going on here with our different crop farms. Our ice melting center, which is turning into water. This really just is a gorgeous game. All the people here taking the pick of their foods. I haven't really paid attention to it that much. But this is really just a living ecosystem. And it's really awesome, minus all these dead bodies floating everywhere. Okay, well, let's get the UI back on. The habitat wreckage. Took some time to get through, but we've reached the area of the readings. There's a small shelter cobbled together from surrounding debris. Oh, that's right. He tried to get those up and operational. All right, concentric circles do not have a classical geological origin. A phenomenon unknown and external to the geological activity observed on P43 generated these strange formations. The circles are not perfect, but the distance between each layer is proportional to their diameters. Atomic analysis revealed the presence of particles characteristic of self-similar space. Interesting. We're going to analyze the crystal formations. I don't think I'm on a time schedule here. We do have a limited amount of time, so we're going to examine the sphere, just in case we only get 2 events and not 3. We have an accident, that's okay. What's really crucial here is that we have these outer ones. So for instance, the health center has the capacity to heal 100 injured crew members simultaneously by bringing them in through the train station. So what we're going to start seeing with these last ones is that this will bring things together in sort of central hubs. So if we want to look at it like this, for instance, we could do something in Sector 6 and make it sort of the central bigger buildings that affects outside. And that way it could affect sectors 1 and 5. We could then build something, this is going to be sector 3, and do those same sort of buildings that affect sectors 2 and 4. And so that way we kind of have these two as a focus to increase the stability of the areas around it, which should keep people happy enough. Now we're at 100% trust, which is great to see. I'm very, very excited about that. But yeah, that's just my thought. We'll probably try and arrange things as such down the line. We have to get there. And I was turned all the way around. We now have enough data to analyze the Piranesi's drones. Okay, we should probably start doing that. But I really just want to get down to like smart homes to solve the housing crisis. Goes to figure that we're still having housing crisis this deep into the future. And then we may go into nuclear reactor stuff because we really do need that as well. Okay, did I initiate the construction of another? We need 3. Speeds up transfers, allows for the expansion of some buildings' influences. No, so we need to turn Sector 6 into that space I was talking about. So what we are going to do, I still need way more electronics production. So we're going to switch that. We're going to turn to silicone. I am going to let this guy get that. No, actually, we're going to let him get the most of it. He's going to start getting hydrogen. And then we also need people to start getting iron back again. Because even though we have a ton of it, we don't have a ton of iron itself. Let's go ahead and do this, though. And then, like I said, we're going to turn this sector into something much more than what it was before. That's the waste thing. I don't think we're going to do that. Let's go with a nuclear power plant. And as you can see, we have researched almost the max. We're increasing by 80%. And we could go ahead and do... oh, I shouldn't have done that. That's okay. That's okay. We're fine. We're actually doing really well. I'm very, very excited. Barraville. We've already explored everything from Kruk P41. Barraville, let's go to Kruk P51 and see where we go with that. I need, before we go and collect all the science from over there, I think... Who has... Okay, you have the hydrogen already. We'll probably end up transferring you, and that's okay. So what we need to do here is we need to say, hey, we don't need you there. You're going to bring that all the way over there. And then I'm actually going to unload both of these. And we're going to allow them to have all the pods. I'm actually going to only keep 50 here. And allow all those to be stored because I want to turn this into a super megapod, which will allow 330, which is pretty good. Okay, or 8PA has continued. So now upgrades are going to be significantly less. Man, we got so much going on now. All right. The sphere repels anyone or anything that gets too close to it, as if it were a magnet repelling another. According to our readings, the sphere is composed of multiple layers. A thin gaseous layer covers the surface, a seemingly sedimentary layer beneath. Within that, the core generates a strong electromagnetic field that periodically degasses the surface. We've also detected the presence of particles characteristic of self-similar space. Behavioral reports suggest that a Yumi is developing a strange fascination with the sphere. Uh-oh. Sensors indicate the team's suits and the gear's hull will soon be compromised by the atmosphere. Repatriation should be initiated with urgency. We're going to leave the planet. Oh, I didn't read that. No! So it appears we lost a member. All right. That sucks. Yep, and I can't go back and read it. Actually, I can. Hold on, I can do that. Right? Oh no, I still can't. Okay, well that's very unfortunate. I wish I could go back and read what happened. What's going on here? We're doing okay. Those bodies going everywhere is still very, very disturbing. What I don't understand is, oh, I'm a dingleberry. We don't have a connection. I'm just a big old dingleberry. I was wondering why it hadn't started yet. Now it will start. That's filling up nicely. Okay, we can decommission. What I do wish we could do is just simply like mold these together. But it doesn't seem possible, which is fine. All right, Kruk P43, you're gonna come back to the Tycoon. And we're gonna make sure that everyone has jobs. You two have jobs, great. You guys, if you're done, you'll be done soon, so you'll go after the iron, which is fine. And we're bringing in all of those, which is also okay. We could go ahead, oh, we'll still keep you a secondary. But we should leave. Okay, so number one is going after all the ice. Cool. That works for me. All right, Kruk P51 registered some interesting environmental data. Primary analysis revealed conditions similar to found on a terrestrial seabed. These conditions may provide conducive to the existence of life. This is the crew of the Barhaville. P51's atmosphere is an extremely high gas concentration. We are navigating through an almost semi-liquid environment. The tremendous pressure is putting the resistance of our suits to the test. Having reached the core, we are prepared to sortie out towards what appears to be a collection of geysers, the area that provided the environmental data. We're going to set up advanced structures. We're going to send the number one place because sector 1, because we can allow some space to be developed so they can start offloading, so I can create the big system here. We now have a nuclear power plant, which we of course cannot use at the moment. We have everything we need here minus the alloy, which is fine. What can we do next is the question. Let's go after a, oh goodness. Let's do a health center. I think that would be really good. Or we could start upgrading. Oh, the electronics, that would have been useful a little bit earlier. Scouting radius is increased by 40%. Wow. What is this? The division of tasks and the polymer. Probes move 100% faster. That's great. We'll go ahead and do that because that will allow us to move faster, obviously. Which means we would have less chance of getting them lost in the future. That stockpile will be decommissioned, which is great. We need enough to power through multiple cycles. Let's go ahead and initiate that. That will allow us to move that there. And oh, they're also tighter. Oh, interesting. That's a much tighter space than before, which is great. Okay, so now our probes go a little bit faster. They move 100% faster here in just a little bit. I want to make sure that our stability is okay. I'm trying to think of things that would be worthwhile. Predictive behavior modeling in the DLS. Okay. Propaganda gains an additional 1 stability. There's so much we can do. I think one of the things we need to do is work on the battery idea. What do we needed to do something regarding... Oh no, we didn't. Never mind. We did this. This area is important, and we figured out what to do with that part. I just don't quite remember what it was. Okay, the gear can come out and go to Crook P37, and we'll be all right. Meanwhile, we're going to look for more things like water and iron. You know what? We could use some silicone. That's a good place. Well done. Oh, those bodies, it gets me every time. Okay, cool. Well, we should... So solid state batteries has been researched. Where are my batteries? There they are. Yeah, let's see. Charging speed is increased by 25%. Stores 300 power, allowing buildings in the same sector to continue operating in the event of travel. Yes. I don't know why I wouldn't do that.
A probe has completed its scan.
There we go. That's great. I feel like we're doing pretty darn good. We do need to go ahead and have them start.
Has occurred in the tycoon.
We need to start getting that back. That's become secondary now. And we do have 2 people. We'll have everyone focused on this. We've opened up our 4th sector finally, which is sector 5. Very nice. We need to go ahead and initiate a workshop. Actually go all the way here. We'll figure that out in just a minute. That's going to be devoted to iron. That is devoted to food.
Trust in your leadership.
Oof.
Falling.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Power supply overloaded.
Yep, I get it. Well, we don't have any silicone. So we're going to go over to here and we're going to shut off that.
Restored.
And you just click on sector 5 from over there. What do we got now? We have a battery tier 2, which is going to hold significantly more. Okay, which is great. I'm okay with that. Battery tier 3 is what's next. Okay, what can we do here? Tycoon moves 20% faster. Suspended beds would be good, but we were going to work on this stuff. I guess we actually don't technically need that now. We are okay with food at the moment. We're not worrying about that. I have to think of what I want to do. We have the train station. We need stuff that will go and work on the recycle materials. Requires the intelligent lab from the tech lab. Increases the production of science. Okay, I think we just kind of have to fill that out. All right, we've arrived at Crook P37. We've landed in the crater we have named Desolation. The ground here seems to be made of glass-like substance, possibly obsidian, and the crater's rim is razor sharp. Telluric formations within the crater resemble waves frozen in time. We think we can pull some interesting data from sediment analysis, or we could try and discover what impacted here. We're definitely going to do that. I'm going to, once again, pull from Sector 1. And there we go. Very nice. Sector 5 is waiting on additional people to be operational. And we are going to provide them with some good housing right off the bat.
Population transfer
There we go.
complete.
And now we have to set up all the things over here again. You're set it up for 50. And then electronics, we actually can't do that yet. Set up for 50 there as well. Pretty much should be all that we need at the moment. They are going to start stockpiling, which is good for us. Very nice. Everything's working as intended. And remember that we're going to start transforming Sector 5. So what we can start doing is disassembling things here, because we don't need them. We discovered unusual bacteriological formations in the geysers. The bacteria are not only capable of arranging amino acids, But by utilizing geyser emissions as binding agents, they restructure mineral deposits and carve out basins around the geysers. Further groups of bacteria found within these basins, we have named bacteria Myers. We like to carry out further behavioral. Absolutely. I have no issues with that. Now, we do have a limited number of electronics, but I do still want to go ahead and train 15 more colonists while we can. We do have... I don't know why they aren't coming in. Okay, so we do have an issue with too much of that, so we don't need that anymore. They're going to start carving out iron, which is fine. We do have plenty of water. The cryopods have been made, so I'm going to release that. I'm going to allow carbon to be stored here, and we are actually going to go ahead and do iron right here. Yeah. Oh, that's really not optimal. What should we do here? You know what? Let's just not do anything for the time being. We're going to empty out the pods. We don't have a cryogenic center here. So instead, we are going to have them do 550 there. We're going to do like 100 and something here. And then what we can also do is do a train station. No, we don't want to do that there. We really want those drones, I guess. Sector 6 and Sector 1, we do want that, but again, we're low on electronics. So I don't know that it's something that we're capable of accomplishing at the moment. We're going to go there, and then we're going to just extend this all the way to here. Make some rather arbitrary roads for the time being. And we'll see where that takes us once those all get done. Now we're waiting on tech there, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. And it doesn't look like there's really much else that we can do. I'm going to keep my reserve of probes a little bit far behind, so we don't exactly need those. But we are cranking out people at a massive rate, which is good. That's what we need. I mean, we'll be able to get to 2,000 cryopods thanks to that new tech rather quickly.
An accident has occurred in the tycoon.
That's okay. It's unfortunate, but it's okay. Also, we do need an infirmary, although maybe we don't if we transformed this sector. We'll have to see. Do we have the alloy thing figured out? We do, for the most part. Nice. Okay, so we can actually empty out that. We can empty out that as well. I need you to empty out. Resource has not been selected for the pile. We don't want any for that. We just want that transferred. Okay. Overall, 4.2% trust is pretty daggum good. Let's... Okay, that's done, so we can start removing these things. I'm just glad that we sort of have something figured out overall. So what do we want to do here is the question. Again, this is our main sector where we're going to start doing these guys, including the health center, which may be one of the better things we could do. Or we could start allowing him to have the power plant. 300 alloy and 5 electronics. Woo-hoo-wee. That's a lot. That is like a lot. We also need, let's see, is he collecting science? They are collecting science. I'm going to go ahead and let him do that. We're going to figure out how much science we have left. Okay, 36 science. Let's get something researched. I think we're going to go with Intelligent Lab. It allows us a production rate of more science per cycle. that our tech lab itself does, and let's look at P51. The majority of Meyer bacteria live inside a geyser's tube. Smaller groups do exist externally that appear to have been excluded. Samples from within the geyser reveal an organized society that is not only able to propagate under other types of bacteria, but also use what can be only described as tools, exchanged via vesicular transfer. Very cool. We theorized a bacteriological language, and with the help of the PA, sent a message to the colony through appropriate stimuli. They responded. The colony has proposed to follow us on an expedition to the Tycoon. This will be a monumental undertaking, as a single human cycle corresponds to several hundred of theirs. This is cool. We have determined that the best way of transporting the bacteria will be to settle a small colony within the respiratory tract of one of the crew. Oh wow, okay. Perhaps an extreme method, but it will provide the ideal conditions for the bacteria. An intelligent and aware species. This will surely open the way for new perspectives. Yeah, we're gonna authorize that, absolutely. That's really cool. Crazy, but really, really cool. All right, and then we're just mining away, ticking away at all the things, is basically what's up. Let's reduce 2 of those. We're gonna have him focus on gathering people. And then we'll be able to start working on more. A nuclear power plant isn't outside of reason, especially considering we have 6 things right there. But what it does mean is that it's going to take up a significant amount of space. And it is something we'll have to figure out. So let's get this built first. Get all of those in line. And then what I need to do, I'm gonna have to build a small one, aren't I? Ugh, I hate spending resources on things that are so unnecessary.
A science shift team has completed a task.
Let's go back out to here. Oh, we're still waiting on the supplies there, that's fine. Let's go ahead and gather this science first, and then we'll move on to something different. We are going to go with vertical parking. That'll allow us to send 1 more transporter. That's going to allow the transportation of goods significantly faster, which I think would be a very, very positive thing. Let's go like this again to just nab all the things. Again, not very optimized, but we don't necessarily have a care for that at the moment. What I do like is the fact that we have the highest trust levels I think we've experienced since chapter 1. That's very comforting. All right, we're going to build that, which is good. And then what we'll end up doing is turning that to alloy, switching that for electronics, and we'll be pretty much right as rain. Let's go into factories. Let's go into a nuclear power plant. I can't fit it there, although that would be very ideal. Let's squeeze this all the way to the edge. And then we can disassemble this for now. Turn that into alloy. We're going to remove that. Perfect, so we can delete it. Turn it into something different if we need to. That's fine. Sector 6 needs 85 people. Or 85, it needs space for 85 people. Are we pretty much optimal everywhere? We're not. They need, we'll do 20 people there. They need 30 people there. Let's transfer 20 workers from sector 6 to sector 2. There we go. Vertical parking, that should help us significantly. All right, what's up with this? Okay, well, let's not worry about that then. I mean, you got 100, that's fine. What I don't get is, I think there's kind of an issue here where they're trying to get people from this sector. So let's go ahead and have people here. for now, but then transfer it. And that would really help speed all of that up. And we have plenty. And then what do we need here? We honestly could do... Let's do food, but remove the food from there. We do end up having a ton of food everywhere, which is good. I mean, that's exactly what we need. I think we're to the point now where we could start having everyone go up to 100. Yeah, we could for sure.
You can implement a new policy.
90 out of 300. That is
Population transfer complete.
cool. Very nice. Sector 6 now just needs a few more people. And then I never actually had them do anything. We are no longer detecting any movement aboard the Barhaville. It appears that Gonzaga Peligro disabled communications by damaging the ship's equipment. Oh no. Before the cessation of movement, there were several alterations with the crew's vital signs. Oh no. Can we go there and see what happened? We're going to have to make a new ship. I want to go back there. Oh, that's very, very intriguing. Go ahead and build a scout ship. We've got the funds to do it. We need no one to gather this, which is what we've essentially established. We have loads of hydrogen. We need hydrogen here. Oh, and I'm one off. That is very infuriating. Let's see, it still takes 4, so that would be a useless space. I can't do useless spaces, I'm sorry. We got to go there, and I think what we could actually end up doing is build, not an insect farm, goodness gracious, a mess hall right here. And let's actually turn that to high priority. So I can disassemble this one, and we can be all hunky-dory. Because what I want to do is this will have hydrogen in it. And now we have everything up and running. We have silicone coming in, which is good. Let's remove that. And then, oh my word. Oh, but that's going to be full. Son of a biscuit. I'm thinking. Let's turn that into silicone as well.
A science ship team has completed a task.
All right, that's P-37. P-37 was until very recently a gas giant. A nuclear reaction of immense magnitude dissipated the planet's gas and vitrified its former liquid core. That's really awesome. This event caused P-37 to deviate from its natural orbit. There is no evidence that this was triggered by a collision with an asteroid or other celestial body. Our theory suggests it was caused by an external intervention. Very nice. That's super duper cool. Let's see, we are multiple happiness, so I think we can afford to stay for a while because we won't receive the permanent problems like we have with previous things. We just need to remove all of that. Now remember, we're still in the process of making this sector happy. So what we need to do, this provides 1 stability, 2 stability in the sector, reduces the max hull integrity. We don't need to worry about that. Or do we? I mean, if it's saying we need to worry about it, then maybe we do need to. Let's see, how are we looking health-wise? I bet we could use a health center. I don't know, an exo fighting dome seems more the way we need to go with this. And then we'll work on all that together. That's great. No other scientific anomalies, correct? Okay, that's fine. We're going to leave the scan view. I'm going to send people back to P51. Go back to P51 and discover what's going on there. Because I am very, very intrigued. We're going to reduce that there. Have them focus on iron. Oh, nice. The cargo ship is experienced. It's creating more stuff. Or can carry more stuff, rather.
An accident has occurred in the tycoon.
Yeah, I think we definitely need to work on that. Angry. Why are we angry? Oh, just the fun effects have worn off. That's what it is. We are going to disassemble that. Great. Let's knock this down to 70. Knock you down to 70. Let's knock you down to 150. Okay. The big thing is that we... how much does it cost? It costs 5. That costs 4. That's fine. We can work on that, and then that will allow us to get our silicone station back up and running. And we can still utilize those. Great. We're going to go ahead and dissolve that. Exo Fighting Dome has been unlocked. And that is going to be here. 450. Oh my word. That is huge. We'd have to remove our tech lab and our farm, which we should do anyways. Oh no, that's a mess hall. That's a mess hall. Sorry about that. That's my fault. Yeah, we should be able to start getting large amounts of things worked on here. Okay, well, we don't know what ended up happening with those guys, which is very, very unfortunate. But Scout, go to P42, see what you can't find for us. And then Gear can go from P37 to P38, and we can see what lies in wait for us there. They still have plenty of stuff to do. We still have plenty of stuff to pick up. So I think it's all going to work out just fine. We are working on getting enough polymers, which is going to help us a lot in that field. And overall, I think everything's going decently well. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. We don't need this. Because we have more than enough to feed people there. Although it does appear we might be dropping in food a little bit, which is not good. We can bring that back up to power. Did we build our... Okay, it's 50%. So as long as nothing happens, we can get this up and running again. And everything would be good. I think that's the answer. Apparently food is something that we can't do here. So we are going to reduce back that all down to 50 so no one is starving. Because yeah, Sector 6 is starving. That'll be fine. We're still working on building the nuclear reactor. Alright, and then we've got a guy at P42. And I guess, oh, that's right. We did do everything for P38. We just didn't get all the science out in time. We've landed on P42. It's a toxic yellow haze, which severely reduces visibility. Our first measurements have recorded trace amounts of oxygen. We've also noted the presence of a few species of bacteria on the shores of Mata, one of P42's cyanide oceans. We will do... We have 60, I do believe. We'll establish a basic... Yeah, we'll establish a basic one.
An accident has occurred in the tycoon.
Let's look here. I don't know why we have colonists here, unless we just happen to move them. Let's move colonists from Sector 6 to Sector 2. Why can't I do that? It's not like we need all of those colonists there. We are going to switch some things around. Although I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. We can make that not polymer. Not entirely sure. Slowly but surely we'll get that up and running. We've got that going, so we shouldn't have any power problems now. Nothing should be turned off. Nothing is turned off, which is great. We can still get people to collect that resource. Why isn't anyone getting it? Oh, because we haven't told them to. That would be a good reason. That's acceptable. And then Sector 2 are the ones who are able to get hydrogen. So we'll get them to get hydrogen for now. This is just so not optimized whatsoever. We have plenty of resources here. Let's go after the Piranesi. We need to do that. We're going to go after the digital attacks. Help us fight against that.
Population transfer complete.
We've transferred colonists. Sector 1 is needing people. Or needing space for people. We're still at 4.9% though, so we're okay. The science ship has received all science. Okay, so we're going to have you go to P42 as well. We got to be kind of careful. We need to make sure we get the Piranesi stuff first. So we're going to focus on that. Missile threat analysis. Probe launcher's been disabled. That's okay. It's not ideal, but it's not that bad. We got 3 more until that's being built. Sweet. That's starting to get worked on. We need to transfer electronics. Sector 5 doesn't have an electronics place. Oh, it doesn't because I deleted it. You got to be kidding me. Fine. Can't believe I'm actually going to have to do this, but that's okay. Sector 6 is about to start being unhappy because of the homeless. But everyone's happy except for Sector 5, which is okay with me right now. Missile threat analysis is done. Drone threat analysis is what's next. And we still got to work on batteries, which means we do need a massive amount of iron. Which we... Alright, administrator or crew member has died in an accident while working in the nuclear power plant. Poor working conditions can lead to accidents. Yeah, I can't regulate that. That's not something that's possible. Okay, well we've done all the things we can to prepare for that. We need to perform a colonization test, which is what we're working on as well. The tech lab, we might as well do 5 science every 3 turns. So we can start working on that section as well. P42 is still being worked on. We got all of this being taken on. Cool. Well, we are discovering lots of new things. We're not optimal. And that's what scares me the most, I think. Let's go down to electronics. Would like an additional, please. That would be nice. We are turning that into what we need. Is that our electronics? I believe it is. Nope, it's not our electronics. What we need to do is just this real quick. All I need is 1. There we go. Then we can bring that up to 1. And now all we need is 3 a cycle. That's a lot per cycle. We go all the way to 8. Holy cow. That's nice. Okay, we're not worrying about food right now. That's not a problem. What we do need to worry about is ice. So I think that's what we can do here. I can just take it out of the way. That tier 2 battery takes so much. What does this take? 100. So this is the equivalent of 3 batteries. Sector 1 already is suffering from issues. What to do, what to do. I mean, we could very easily just remove these guys, although at this point that's what it takes to house one of those. Trying to see if there's anything unnecessary that we have going on. We need as much waste as possible removed from there. We've got ice and people. That's what we need to worry about. We can take all the cryonic pods we have. They're overworked and they are angry. Well, I can't blame them. Hydrogen, we're going to take like 5. We're going to take all your hydrogen. And since we have no tech lab issues here, we could build a tech lab over here. Let's disassemble this. Like I said, this is the whole purpose. This is what we're doing this for. Is to make this center feed sectors 1 and 5. Eventually sector 3 will do the same. There we go.
A violent strike has started on board the Tycoon.
I get it. I get it.
An accident has occurred in the Tycoon.
What would be better to build? A DLS center, I feel, would be beneficial. More beneficial, I should say. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a good minute. Nothing of importance has really happened. Unless you count this. We have a fire. And we have no place to build a fire station. So that's fun. I don't know if this will just simply go away or if it will explode or what will happen. But we'll have to wait and see for the next time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is turning out to be very, very interesting. We're juggling so many pieces. We're building an exo fighting dome, but we don't have quite the electronics to handle all of it. We're rebuilding our tech lab. Our nuclear power plant is up and running, which is really a big positive for us. And there's so many other things we could do, including, for instance, doing a generous here to where we're now at the negative and not the angry. Overall, I think we're doing okay, but I also realize that, well, we still haven't gotten everything over here yet, which makes sense because I haven't actually allowed anyone to be sent over there. But we have nothing else to really do. There's just resource extraction. We're still doing a lot of pods here. We don't have the batteries yet. And we haven't performed colonization. So we still have a long ways to go. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. This is Havoc. And I'll see you in the next one.
Amongst the stars.
Given the importance of the Tycoon, we must have full control over what is happening inside the station.
Administrator, trust in genetic genetics. Self-similar space will reveal the pattern.